Good day, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel Portsuit, the Sports Inquirer. Welcome to another edition of Fighting Peaches. On this edition, we're going to be hearing from Georgia State football starting quarterback Christian Veilleax as the team opened up fall camp on July 31st, 2025. Before we get to Christian and his thoughts on the upcoming season, as always, to follow everything that we do, go to the mothership, thesportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure you head on to there for the Sports Inquirer or Etienne Marcel Petute. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video host, including YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Just first search for us on there, and you'll be able to find us. We've been putting up a lot of good content recently on the site. We were able to highlight some of our interviews from the Sun Belt Football Media Days earlier this summer. We actually did put up our interviews with Ted Hurst, among others from Georgia State football. We were able to speak with Georgia Southern head coach Clay Helton, as well as players such as J.C. French the fourth and more. And we're going to slowly roll in the different teams that we spoke to at the Sunbelt Media Days. In fact, we spoke with a representative from all 14 Sunbelt teams. So that's going to be rolling out over the next few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. But for today, we have Christian Veilleax, starting quarterback for Georgia State football. The team opened up fall camp on July 31st. We were there with the press conference after their first fall practice. And he started off talking about my question of how he's feeling in the team finally being back out on the field. Enjoy. First, you mentioned at day one being a little bit fatigued. Just how are the guys acclimating, yourself included, now that you're finally together as a full staff and being out there in these elements?
Yeah, I mean, the first day is always going to be tough, getting used to the heat, having the helmet on. You're out there for a good 2 hours just under the sun, so definitely took a toll on us. I know I was dripping in sweat all day, so definitely going to have a couple more towels tomorrow to kind of offset that. But for a first day, I felt like it was good. All the work that we put in through the summer kind of added up to today, and I felt like as an offense we did a good job. Ran a lot of stuff that we've been doing all summer and executed it today against the defense, so it was good to see that.
Take us through, your journey from last December to now. I mean, you lose the job last year, but there's some highs and some lows, and going through spring and summer and to this point, what's it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some highs and some lows last year. I felt like last year I did some good things, but I didn't do everything I needed to do to be consistent every single week. And I think this year that's been one of my biggest focus is to, make sure I'm checking all the boxes each week, making sure that, this winter, this spring, this summer, I did everything that I could to prepare myself for, these next couple practices, the game prep for Ole Miss, and then just getting into the season. So I've really attacked it as, the reality is it's my last year. This is my last shot to do what I want to do, to live out my dream. So I might as well do everything that I can to commit, be the best self that I can be, and also just do everything I can to help this team out. Because at the end of the day, I can't go anywhere unless we as a collective go somewhere. So that's been a big thing for me, to get everybody along, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure guys know their stuff, and we still have a long way to go with that. But I feel like we've done a really good job this offseason.
And then alongside that, you're the only quarterback returning from this year, so you got three guys you got to help into the program. And I guess how's that been? What have you seen from them over the last, I guess all of them been since spring, right? So what have you seen over since January?
Yeah, it's weird being the only guy to be back. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. So it's been good to get new minds into the room, because it makes you break down certain things and really get to the core of what the offense is. So we really have detailed conversations. We really go deep into everything. And everybody's picking it up really well. I think Cam, PJ, and TJ have done a great job. And then Jaden, our new walk-on, he's done a great job. So all those guys, they're smart. They know what they're doing. But I think that the benefit for myself was hey, let's start at ground zero and then build it all the way up. Even though you've been here, it's good to start from the bottom floor and then work all your way up. So
What about the rest of the offense? I mean, you're back, but there are a lot of new faces with the line, in the backfield, and some new talent in the receiving room.
We definitely added some depth, some size, some speed, and I think it's really going to help us. I think throughout this spring, this summer, we could really like feel and see the difference of the guys we brought in, and I felt like we did a hell of a job recruiting. Now it's just about making sure we gel together, making sure we connect with each other, and just being on the same page. Because I mean, we all know what a talented football team looks like, and that's what we have here. We just gotta put it together and play well and play as a unit, or else we're not gonna win games. So.
Obviously, it's only day one, but when you take a second and look around as a guy that's been here for a little bit and you've seen how this team has grown, what are your first impressions of what this group looks like this year once the guys are actually on the field? Not wearing pads, but just how it looks so far.
Yeah, I think it's the culture, really. I think that's the biggest improvement and difference from last year. I think like a lot of the guys know what's expected. A lot of the guys know the standard, and we're actually like living it, implementing it. I think as players, we still need to do a better job to be a player-led team, but we've definitely taken a couple steps forward in that direction compared to last year. And I mean, we've just grown. We don't like to talk about last year, but it's all in the back of our minds for the guys that were here, and we try to use that as motivation to not repeat the same mistakes. And I mean, so far, like everything's looked great from personnel standpoint, from culture standpoint, from even like the coaching staff. Like now that everybody's got a year under their belt, like things are running much more smoothly. So it's been nice.
Morning, Christian. You came in here with some high energy this morning, and you're not the only player that seems a little bit looser this go around. So can you kind of speak on that energy and excitement that the entire team is feeling right now going into fall camp?
Yeah, well, when it's your fifth camp, you gotta come in excited. You gotta come with the right mindset. I mean, I've been through it, so I know what it is. And I think a lot of the guys that have been here have expressed the same thing, like they're excited. And I think the biggest thing is like bringing the freshmen along. For them, for their first camp, like I remember my first camp, I was like, oh my God, like this is college football. Like this is not what I signed up for. But I mean, you get through it. You got to embrace the suck, as we say. And I feel like everybody's like got a positive attitude. That's what we talked about in the meeting yesterday with Coach McGee. Is constant positivity is what I wrote down in my notes. So. Every day you got to wake up and be like, let's go practice. Every rep you got to be like, all right, this rep is what matters. Every drill you got to be like, all right, let me do this to the best of my ability. So, even though it's hot, even though you're tired, I got to be the voice out there to, get everybody going, get everybody excited. So I try to bring the energy and try to get guys to match my energy. So.
What was the Manning passing camp experience like for you?
It was awesome. I mean, I've always known about it since high school, and honestly, to be honest, never thought I would have gotten the opportunity to go. And I want to thank my quarterback coach out here in Atlanta, Charlie, with QB Country. He's the one who really like put the word in for me and got me there. So shout out to him. But I mean, what a tremendous experience. I think my favorite part was not only meeting all the different quarterbacks in the country, but also like just being around the kids and like teaching them and realizing that a couple of years ago, like 7-8 years ago, I was in their shoes and I was doing these camps, and putting yourself in that coach mindset really makes you think about like, hey, like when I do these drills, what do I do? So I kind of like that aspect of it. And then one of my favorite parts, like I said before, was like just the other guys throughout the country. Like a lot of the quarterbacks that I met were real down to earth, real solid dudes. I know I got to spend time with my friend Bo, who was at Penn State with me, so that was great to see him. But overall, like just a tremendous experience, and I mean that's something that as a college quarterback you want to be invited to and be a part of. And for me to have that opportunity, I mean I'm super grateful. And really my upbringing for football was through Peyton Manning, because my dad was a huge Peyton Manning guy, and growing up I was watching him, so that's how I got into football. So to be there and just watch him and Eli and Cooper is actually hilarious, so I'll give him that. But I mean, what a great experience. I'd go again tomorrow if I could. So.
That was Christian Veilleax from Georgia State football, starting quarterback, talking about establishing himself as the starter. Last season, he started the season, but other guys got some rotation time in at the position. He's the only returning quarterback in the room from last season, so that gives him the leg up. But we'll see how he develops and evolves. And yeah, participating in the Manning camp sounded like a fun experience for him. You hear so much about that from all of the high school and collegiate players. So that's a really good time that he was able to do that. Hopefully, we're going to hear from Christian quite a bit this season as the Georgia State Panthers continue through with their football season. Thanks for listening and watching to this latest edition of Fighting Peaches. As always, to go to the mothership, thesportsinquirer.net, for premier news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Sports Inquirer, RTN, myself too. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.